I went to the movies and watched episode 9 of the Amazing Digital Circus, and today in this video I want to share my thoughts, mostly without direct spoilers, but if there are any, I'll warn you. We'll talk about my impressions of the finale, whether I think it's good or bad, what the finale feels like, not plot-wise, but as an experience watching it, and about the general vibe of the screening. Were there crazy fans, or if anything was chill instead? First thing I want to tell right off the bat, I'm not your mom and I'm not here to tell you what to do, but this is a genuine advice from the heart. If you don't have the chance to see the episode in theaters, do not watch the pirated version. First, because you'll ruin your first experience. Second, the situation where the episode got leaked weeks before the theatrical release is genuinely awful, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I bought my ticket in the first few days after the announcement. Partly because I had never been to a movie theater before, as weird as it sounds, and partly because I didn't want to wait for the YouTube release. The ticket was only $15, which I don't consider expensive. The theater had good reclining seats, and considering where I was sitting, dead center, third row, the picture filled my entire field of vision. Everyone was basically watching it lie down. The theater itself wasn't very full, and there are few reasons for that. My ticket was for the second day of the release, and also this premiere was showing in every theater, in every neighborhood and town, so there was no massive concentration in one place, unlike some cities where it showed in a single theater, sometimes serving an entire county. Mild spoilers ahead. The showing opens with a fun intro featuring that low-poly fish voiced by Charlie from Smiling Friends, where it says, "Don't pirate the episode, don't record the screen, you can share your opinions online, but please do not spoil the ending and don't ruin the experience for others." It was genuinely funny, the jokes landed, and honestly that was the only moment the entire theater laughed during the screening. I'm mentioning this because this intro most likely won't be in the YouTube release, it was made specifically for theaters. Why didn't the theater laugh that much after this moment? Because this is a drama and there isn't much that's funny about it. I'm not saying there were no jokes or funny moments, but when you're watching this episode you're gripped by tension, worrying about the characters, trying to process what's happening. Let's talk about the ending. It's essentially a happy ending with a bitter aftertaste, but the whole episode is a solid emotional roller coaster. I genuinely can't tell whether I feel good about the ending or whether it's putting me in a depression. But it's the ending that works and the one that makes sense as a finale for this show. The theories and ideas I've been carrying through the entire series, they paid off, and that doesn't mean everything was predictable. Some things I just had in the back of my mind since the early episodes, like that would be kinda cool if this happened, and they actually put that in the show. That's why I like the finale, personally. There's still plenty of unanswered questions, some of which you could even call inconsistencies, like the whole thing with the time period, like obviously this is a computer from the 90s and how exactly it's still running, as well as other technical questions I'm not going to tell you directly. You'll watch it yourself and you'll see what I'm talking about. Some things just aren't fully explained and you're left to figure it out, but overall none of that breaks how the story ends. In opposite, there are plenty of open space if they decide to continue the show and make a new story. But this story ended where it's needed to be ended. Big spoiler, heads up, close your ears, close your eyes, open your mouth. There is a credits scene with Zubul and Gangle. And finally, to show what episode 9 actually feels like, I want to show you this compilation from other things. Again, take it however you want, some of them are weird. This could be considered as a spoiler in its own way, and if you want, you can leave now, because it's the last thing I wanted to show you.